little spatter guard thing. All right, so hi everyone, happy Sunday. How does beef stroganoff sound? Have you ever made it before? Well, I'll tell you what, it's pretty simple and easy to make, and when you do it on the skillet, it's even better, okay? Your skillet is the queen and king, or whatever you want to call it, for getting things done, and I love a good skillet meal. What I'm doing right now, and I know it's really loud, is browning the beef. And you have to do it in batches. And if you can see, let's get it close up on this. As you can see, what I have here is there's space in between. The heat is high. I've got butter and oil in there to keep it going. And my whole thing is to make sure that I'm just getting rid of all the red. So I keep just turning things over one at a time. And this is almost ready to go into my pot, my little dish right over here where I'm putting them in. That's the key to making good beef stroganoff. You don't crowd the beef in the pan. When you do, you cannot saute and you end up stewing instead of sauteing like I'm doing right now. So the other thing that you do is you dredge the beef. So we've got right here, this is New York, I think, but you want to use a quality meat. You want sirloin, you want filet even. You don't want beef stew. It won't come out the same. Beef stew is tough meat, and sauteing it like this will not do it any favors. Okay, let me get this out. Get another batch on so I can tell you how to do this. Okay, this is the last batch, and then I'm going to show you how you finish cooking quickly while I have this going. Well, let me just say right quick, you've got about 3 pounds of beef, okay, and it's cut into strips like this and trimmed up. Then you put in, it's 2 pounds of beef, and then you put in about 3 tablespoons of flour, or in my case, I'm using arrowroot, which works really well if you have any kind of gluten sensitivity. It just does the same thing, and it helps you to make your sauce later. You want butter because the butter gives the flavor, but you also want the avocado oil because the avocado oil has the smoke point and will preserve the butter. Or you can use ghee. I'm pretty low on ghee, so I'm doing it this way. And the rest of the meat's going to go in here. Okay, put that over there. So while that's cooking, it'll just take a minute too, and I probably got a little too much in here. You want to do a little less than that, but I just want to get this done at this point. What?
Stay in one place.
Here, follow me, follow me. Anyway. So while that's cooking, you just let this cook up, and I've got it turned back up. Let it do its cooking, and then we're going to get an onion done. You're going to have 1 medium or medium-large onion. You know, onion's great, however much onion you want to put in there. You've got about 1/2 pound of mushrooms that you want to slice up and have ready to go. And then you can use beef broth, or you can, believe it or not, use chicken broth. There's not going to be any telltale signs of that. This will help to make the sauce, okay? So we're going to start with the onion. Show you another technique for cutting it. Get that going here in just a sec. That's about right. Doesn't have to be perfect. Oh, it's so strong. These onions right now are so strong. Okay. And once you have it generally laid out, you're going to want to go back and fix the little pieces that didn't make the big spatula turnover. See what I mean? Get over here. Come on, lay down. Stop it. Obedience. I am seeking obedience. And like this stuff is cooked. You pull some of the stuff out that's already cooked. And again, you're not cooking it all the way. We're browning it. We're browning it. Okay, pretty much. And from here, the ground beef goes over into the pan. And you need to kind of work quickly because you want to keep your high heat. You're going to have to correct this and add just a little bit more butter to the pan. And some onion. And you know, sometimes if this is getting too brown, what I will do is I will go ahead and get my whisk out, and I will go ahead, add a little bit of bone broth, and take it all, take that juice out, because I don't want to burn that. I want to use that, because that's the fond. Remember, fond is the browning that you get on the bottom of your pan from vegetables, onions, meat. And that's the golden stuff. That's the secret. That's the secret sauce to making this amazing. So, see, I found, look, here we go. You see this? This is the fond. And I'm just going to go ahead and just pull that right out, because that's going to go into the sauce. And it'll dissolve when I'm making everything. Because it was starting to burn, and I said, okay, fine, see ya. Let's get it out of here. Get it into here, and this will be used later on. It'll melt right in as I'm making the sauce. Promise, you never ever want to get rid of the brown goodies. That's the good stuff. Okay, so you get your onions going. I've absolutely trashed this stovetop. And I just washed all of these things, so. Okay, so your onions are going nicely. And you get them to the translucent part, and then you're going to add your mushrooms in. Now, I'm making it fast, and I probably need a bigger bowl than this. Marco, if you could help me with that, the big stainless bowl. You know how I am. Don't always have everything together. Here we go. And then what I'm doing here is I've shown you this trick before. I just take all my onions that I've already cooked and I put them all to the side. And now I'm going to add the mushrooms right in. That's great. Thank you. There's your mushrooms. Now, here's where I'm going to start a little bit of seasoning. Again, when you use salt on your mushrooms, just exactly what I'm doing, and a high heat and the butter, etc., it will bring out the liquid of the mushrooms, which is what you want. And you want to keep going and cooking past when they let out their liquid, and keep cooking them, and then they'll start to brown. You don't want to poach them, you want to saute them. Saute has a whole different flavor, and they're not as squishy and weird. We always have a discussion about this in our house, of how to make the right mushroom. But that's the truth. I'm just telling you like it is. And then I like thyme in this. Some people use dill, but I think dill tastes a little bit odd in, I don't know, with beef. It just doesn't work for me. A little black pepper. And you'll notice I'm garlicless on this, although I sure would like some garlic, but that's not traditional. Dijon mustard is, though. I forgot the Dijon mustard. It's in the fridge. Sorry, love. And look at these mushrooms are coming together nicely. You really want to give these a nice few minutes. You want the mushrooms to get nice and browned up. Just remember, every time you do this, and when you cook like this and you're bringing out their natural color and you're not rushing it, what you're doing is you're bringing out another layer of flavor. This is what distinguishes good cooks from great cooks. Great cooks understand what makes a good flavor profile, and they work with that. So that's why we're doing this with the mushrooms. You see right now, they're throwing their liquid. If you can get in there, you can see it. They're starting to get soft, and they're throwing their liquid. You see that? I'll show you. See the liquid? And it's just going to be another minute before that liquid is all gone. So let's give a review while we're waiting for these guys to finish up. Let's give a review of what we have. You need 2 pounds of a good quality beef steak. Filet, sirloin, New York, whatever you've got. And then you need to trim it up good, and you need to get some, like we have here, thinner slices of it because you're doing a quick saute. And then you want to dredge it. Now, about 2 pounds to about 3 tablespoons of flour. You might need a little bit more. You can also use arrowroot. I have made it before with coconut flour. I don't recommend that. It makes a big goopy, gloppy mess, and I find arrowroot as a gluten-free option to be a lot better. So you want to do that. Use salt and pepper the beef as you go with the whole dredging situation. One of the biggest things on this too is when you put it in your hot pan. Again, it's hot because we're sauteing, and remember in French, saute is to jump. So you want it really hot, and you want that beef to get some quick action. You want it to brown fast. We're working with lean meat. You cook it hot and you cook it fast, or it gets tough, okay? So that's what that's all about. And then you put your butter and oil back into the pan, and you do your onions, then you add the mushrooms. And you know what? It almost doesn't matter as far as the order is concerned. You can do it almost in any order. Look at these mushrooms now. I'm mixing them up with the onions. Look how gorgeous they are. And you can tell and see the difference. Aren't they lovely? Yep. They are fantastic. Okay, we're going to give that just another minute just to kind of come to temperature and finish throwing their liquid, okay? You've got so that's a ½ pound of sliced mushrooms. We're using baby portobellos, but you can use white mushrooms. You can use whatever it is that you have. And the other thing is, when your mushrooms are on the verge of starting to go, and you know what that looks like, they start to open up and lose their cap, so to speak, this is a great recipe. You can also chop up those mushrooms, saute them up, and then throw them into the freezer. The point is, mushrooms, you know, they're not the cheapest thing. They're not the most expensive thing. They used to be. But you don't want to throw them out. And they work fine frozen. And you can throw them into soups, a saute, whatever. But they work really well with that. You want lots of butter. Butter is what makes this whole thing go around and makes it really delicious. When I'm sauteing up the mushrooms, and you saw me do this, the salt helps to bring the liquid out of the mushrooms. You want to do that. And then you also want to season it. And again, you get the thyme, and I had about a ½ teaspoon of thyme. You could use a little bit more if you want. And you rub it and put it in there. It makes it really nice. So there we go. This is really nice. Look how gorgeous that is. Okay, now I'm going to take this out, somewhat, not all of it, and make a sauce. This is my own terrible version of it that honestly I should have used a Dutch oven, which I should. You were right, Mark. I should have used a Dutch oven, but I did not. And once again, we're back to the butter department. Start there. Use a wire whisk. Get that going. And then this is where my little bone broth friend comes in. And what we're looking at is about a cup of of bone broth or beef stock, whatever it is that you're going to be using, right here. And you're going to notice that what I'm making looks like a clear broth, and you can see it getting browned up from all the stuff on the bottom of the pan. But it's not going to be the thick, creamy stuff that you would imagine that should be happening right now. Because you need to, at this point, what you're going to do is have your beef, have your mushrooms, everything cooking in this liquid, and just before serving, you put 1 cup of room temperature, that's really important or it will break, room temperature sour cream into your hot beef stroganoff. You want to make sure that the stroganoff is not boiling at the time or even simmering at the time. Just turn it down and let it make sure it's hot. Then you add the 1 cup of sour cream, and that's what gives it that creamy sauce. You will not get that right now, and I'm not going to do it because I don't have it out to do it. And this is basically, that's the finishing thing that you need to do. And I'm just, right here, what I'm doing with my spatula is I'm just getting all the goodies that was stuck to the spatula off of it. Because I see that brown fond, and to me that is liquid gold. And I want to make sure that every drop of it gets into the dish that I'm cooking because it's going to add that flavor. Okay, and then back into the pot you go. Woo! Oh, I forgot to add the Dijon. Whoops. So you're going to add about 2 teaspoons full of Dijon. I can just do that in there. Just give it a little, there it is. And again, that's just adding a little more dimension. You're going to get sick and tired of me saying that, but it's true. That's what makes it flavorful and delicious. All right, let's see here. This one. And then just give it a nice mix. Now, here's the thing. You can serve this on buttered noodles. That's traditional. If you're keto or low carb, serve it on some fresh spinach. What do you think of that idea? This would be great for the sprint. The sprint is starting next week. Well, that's actually starting tomorrow, yes. So Monday's the sprint. It's a free thing. And you know, I always say we're isolated right now, but we can still be connected. And that's one of the ways that we connect is with the sprint. We all do it at the same time, 7 days, Monday through Sunday. All the instructions, everything is right there. Just go to savingdinner.com/sprint. If you even forget that, just go there. You'll see the sprint banner right there on the website. Look at this. Isn't that gorgeous? Does that look delicious? Will you eat this? Heck yeah, you will. That's our dinner for tonight. And there's enough for leftovers. You see how it made that nice gravy? And it thickened up beautifully because of the arrowroot. You don't need to have flour, people. Lots and lots. Now, you can make a bigger sauce if you want more sauce. But again, we're adding 1 cup of sour cream to this because that's how you make it. And we are good to go. Listen, if you've got questions, you have ideas, or if you'd like to become a supporter of Saving Dinner, all you have to do is go to savingdinner.com and get Dinner Answers. It's right there on the front page. Dinner Answers is our answer to what's for dinner, no matter how you eat, keto, low carb, paleo, whatever it is, even vegans and vegetarians. We have a plan for you. Plus you have access to our entire database of thousands of recipes. This is what we're known for. This is our core thing, is bringing families back to the dinner table. And right now, more than ever, this is important. We've lowered the price to $7 a month because we are looking for support so that we can support you right back. So if you'd like to become a supporter of savingdinner.com, get Dinner Answers for $7 a month. And we will lock you in for life. Once it goes up, the price goes up back again to where it used to be. It'll never go up on you. So I thank you so much for supporting Saving Dinner. Thank you for sharing this video with all of your friends. It's time to turn this down. And I hope that you make this and tell me how delicious it is. And I'll tell you what, it is sprint approved. All you have to do is put it on spinach, ladies. Easy. That's it. I hope you enjoyed that. I will see you tomorrow at 1 p.m. for Motivational Monday. If you join the sprint, you'll see me in the morning. I'm going to be all over this place in the morning, 9 a.m. sharp. I will see you then in the sprint group right here on Facebook. Peace out. Share